to start with you, Dave, and paint a picture of the future. What's it going to look like in 2 to 3 years? What's the demand signal you're seeing across the private public sector customer base, if you will, in regards to this aspect of cybersecurity?
Yeah, thank you, Luke. Good question. It's interesting because there's a lot of futuristic or modernization talk in parallel that's going on now that we're being asked about. I kind of alluded to a little bit earlier. I've been drawn in on the intelligence community and some agencies saying, okay, we want to look to not just mobile edge, and obviously that doesn't normally sit in a lot of people's minds, but when you look from a tactical edge or trying to position out, one of the things is security is quantum key distribution. We just recently did a test from the commercial side overseas and back here, and was very effective. We're being asked more about that. Now, again, I know that's kind of a futuristic or down the road type thing, but I can see that being more and more proliferated, a couple of years out. People, how do we look at that? It's still in its leading edge state of it. It has a lot of maturity to do in that regard. But how do we secure? Because we have a very aggressive adversaries, and I say plural on that because it's not just the name players we think about, China, Russia, but there's others that we can throw in there that are being very aggressive. And I think that's important as we started to see this adoption to some cloud of native security platforms. Again, someone alluded to it earlier, we're not going to have everybody go to the cloud. However, it's important that those security requirements from the beginning on that platform, and we're going to see more and more of that. One element I see that is SASE, when you start to see about this, the secure access service edge implemented. What we've seen even today is that with SASE and zero trust architecture, what effective capabilities are being brought to bear today. So I think that'll be more mature, more activated across different organizations and agencies. And I think the one thing, and just maybe kind of taking off Rob's comment about more, words of advice, is I think the partnerships that we have in the community. Listen, the industry has a lot of technology that is forward-leaning. Now, does all of it apply specifically to our market and can do today? That's not the point. The point is, how do we insert those mission requirements of DoD and the IC and the federal government and insert them into our field so we can bring those capabilities and then start to partner with some of these that bring that holistic chain where we're talking application layer, data layer, and provide that to the community. I think doing that brings a lot of value, and I think at the same time, it also goes back to my comment about agility and security and that balance between those two. So I think that'll be more flush in the future over the next 1-2 years.